Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to be looking at 3 more Puffin Forest shorts. Today we're going to be looking at, and I have definitely looked at the titles already, Dungeon Bebop 12 Cartoon D&D Sketches, which I'm not actually sure whether it'll be different than usual, but I just like the fact that it's a reference to Bebop, and I was like, ooh, Dungeon Bebop, it's like Cowboy Bebop, but fantasy, ooh. You know, I was making a joke there, but if they did a Cowboy Bebop as a fantasy, that would actually probably be Konosuba. I don't know why that's where my mind went, but it kind of went to not the serious aspect, but the jokier aspects, yeah, it would fit really well. Huh. Well, that's in my head now. Then, top 3 tips for getting into Dungeons and Dragons. The first one being, enjoy dicking over the GM. Is that a good tip? No. Is it what I would give? Yes, this is why you don't take advice from me. Ever. And I tried out playing D&D Adventures League for the first time, which I don't know what Adventures League is at all, so... I'll roll with it because I'm as much in the dark on there, so it's definitely going to be a first time for me. Wow, that's not a phrase I should say, probably. I'm sure no one would ever take that out of context and use that video to embarrass me. You know, I should say things like that in my head and not out loud. Yeah. So we're just going to jump right in and try not to say anything else incriminating. And fail, probably.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to your
Is it a talking fire pit? And it can't go after them.
Oh no, the dragon's destroying my home village! That's where I keep all of my stuff!
Don't go there!
Look at that! Seems like there's
Is that Blue's
clue
Clues?
there.
Really?
Blue Skidoo. We can too. Wee!
Slenderman? Why? Why?
Do you play
Okay.
chess?
Well,
No.
yes, I happen to be a master of the chess-playing variety. Hey, look at that castle over there, Mr. Knight.
They're
Why
just
don't we go
playing with
explore?
chess
Get
pieces.
you on that
Oh my
phone, Mr.
god,
Bishop.
that...
Hey, maybe we should invite Mrs.
This
Queen
guy's
and the
good.
team.
Yeah!
Well, we were looking for
That's
a new
better than
member of
anything
the
response
party.
ever.
What do you have to offer?
Dishes.
Dishes?
What?
Dish is a clever joke.
No. No, that was the appropriate response to that.
What sorcery do you practice?
I'm a
Yeah.
wizard.
A plow wizard? What does a plow wizard do?
Yeah.
Useful?
Let me know there's a trap there. Maybe it's a good trap. See? It's magical healing fire.
Why would they have
What?
a trap hiding magical healing fire?
Well, it's,
No one would ever
it's
say
our
that.
magical healing fire. Why would we want other people to use it? Of course we keep it hidden.
Oh,
Ow.
that makes sense. What?
Table? You've secretly been able to talk?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Oh god, the
hasn't
things
been
it's
a
seen.
Secret, exactly.
Why didn't you say anything?
Oh, why was that my job? Why didn't you try talking to me?
It's
I
at least
know.
why no one
Maybe
talks to the
you didn't
table.
strike up a conversation with me because you didn't think a table had anything interesting to say. Is that right?
This
I
is
mean,
why
you
no
could've
one
just
wants to
asked
talk
me at
to
any
you.
point.
Yeah, got it.
Ho ho! And with this next trick, I will remove the tip of my finger. Ho
What?
ho! And there it is, back again. Promise me that your power will always be used as a force for good in this world.
I even know that trick.
So, as you guys know, we still haven't decided on a team name, but what if we called the group the Skull Dogs?
Skull Dogs? Seriously?
That sounds kind of
That makes us sound like we're an
evil.
80s street gang.
Well,
It does, oh
kinda do.
I
god.
love it.
Skull Dogs. Oh, well, that's awesome. Oh, he's actually going back to this one.
Oh, a clever move there from Lemmy. Seems like by moving his pawn to the knight's tea party, that is really going to make his king awkward when he has to stay the night over at his castle, while his bishops are pinned down across the board, smelling lilacs in the field.
I'm not touching this one.
Since you're late to the game, we only have 2 seats at the table open still. You could take the armchair, however, I warn you, it's covered in broken glass, and
What?
there's a nest of vipers that have moved into it, and they sometimes like to take turns biting the butt of anyone who's sitting in it. So if you feel a sharp bite followed by agonizing pain, you know where it's from.
Where's the other open seat?
Oh, the other one's on the couch next to Ben.
Obvious joke, he's going for the vipers.
Do you have any antivenom?
A full carton?
Armchair it is.
I really should get those vipers out of there sometime.
Nope.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
3 tips for getting into Dungeons and Dragons.
Sometimes I get messages from people saying that they've watched my videos and they want to get into Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing because it's It sounds like great magical
Yeah,
fun time
that's
adventures, but
literally
don't know
where I'm at
how,
right now.
And they want to
I
know
blame
my
you.
advice. I've got another question for you.
Why? Have you not watched like the last 40 videos I've made?
Yes, and unfortunately,
I think
that's
if you had,
why.
you'd realize I just complain about the games I've been in, where I yell at people, punch people in the face, try to get my character killed off, and try and ruin games. You'd think I'd have some kind of personal vendetta against it or something, and I'm quietly trying
He's
to end
right.
the hobby and bury it out back where no one can find it.
Why am I wanting to
But
play this game based on him bitching about
no,
it?
Some of you
And why do I
think
still want
D&D
to?
is about being with friends and having fun.
Huh. I'm actually surprised about this.
Seriously, though, I complain about the things I love. First off, I need to clarify in
Yeah.
case you guys don't already know. Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop RPG. One game of many. It's hard to get exact numbers on what the most popular tabletop RPGs are. I would guess in no particular
Pathfinder,
order.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Pathfinder, Shadowrun, Call of Cthulhu, Star Wars, Edge of the Empire,
Ooh, did not
and
know about that one.
the Vampire of
Heard
the
about that one.
Masquerade? Sailor Moon? Sailor Moon? The RPG?
Really?
Anyone? No?
There's a Sailor Moon
I
RPG?
don't know.
Yeah, probably.
You might be wondering, if there are all these other RPGs out there, why would I play Dungeons & Dragons? Why not pick one of the other ones?
Probably does.
That's a good question. You could. It's possible. But with D&D, it's a bit easier if you want to find an active group because there's more people playing it and a lot more people are familiar with it.
Yeah, I mean, it
has
is
more
kind of what you think of when you say
streamlined
role playing. You think
depending on what
D&D.
game you're comparing it to, and so on.
It's
So
kinda like
this
when
video
you
is
think,
going to be
trading card
focusing
game, you
on getting
think
into
Magic the
D&D,
Gathering and not
even
Yu-Gi-Oh.
though you could technically pick any of them. So my
could
first
just be
tip to
wrong.
getting into D&D is go to an Adventures League game. I've talked about it in another video, but Adventures League is hosted by Wizards of the Coast, where they run a series of games every week. It doesn't cost any money. You can go there, get into a session, they will set you up with everything you need and teach you the rules.
Oh.
When it comes to house games, those are very personal. You kind of got to know someone to get in. And even when you do, they'll sometimes want a blood pact for the next few years of your life if you want to stay. Ideally, you want to get your friends to play an RPG with you
that's
because most of the fun
escalating.
in playing an RPG is that you're doing it with friends. So my second tip is get your friends involved. A lot of times when I talk to people about getting into tabletop RPGs, they complain that none of their friends have played before and probably aren't interested.
Yeah.
Well, have you tried bringing it up to them? I think there might be more interest there than you think.
Probably,
I remember one of my friends
but
posting
I
the
know
Dungeons
that
and
it's
Dragons
embarrassing to
post
ask.
on his Facebook saying, reading through these at work. And he got a lot of hits from people saying things like, oh wow, that's so cool. I've heard about that game, including myself. And that's how I got my first invite to a group. Apparently, a lot more
Accidentally
of our friends knew
blocked
about
me.
D&D than we thought. Another thing, even if they don't
Best
know
little
what D&D
inclusion.
is, why don't you introduce them to
Oh,
it?
the level
Have
of
they ever played
self-deprecating
any
humor.
video game ever? If they have, that might be a good place to start. It is possible that you can convert your friends to D&D nerds by evangelizing to them about it.
No.
If not, your friends are defective. You need to get new friends. Third tip is,
Tip
as far
three,
as
get
stuff
new
to
friends.
buy, I would recommend starting with the 5th edition starter set.
Ooh.
However, you aren't going to buy it because everyone else just buys the 3 core rulebooks, the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master Guide, and the Monster Manual, as well as a bunch of dice. If this is your first time running a game, I would suggest starting out maybe reading a module because it will give you a good idea how the game is run.
Right.
Although when it comes to reading modules, I've had mixed reactions because some people find them rather complicated and overwhelming. Hopefully this might help you guys out and give you a place to get started. I might make some more tutorial videos on role-playing coming down the line. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
All right, so yeah, he made a valid point. He does bitch about the game a lot, and I'm like, wow, I really want to play D&D now because I'm watching him bitch about it. It didn't seem that weird up until now, but now it kind of does. More so because I'm still cool with it and I want to do this. God, I need more free time. People have actually, because of watching the D&D Puffin Forest reactions, reached out to me on Discord in different places, like in the comments, saying, hey, you, just jump in. We can do this on Discord. And I'm like, if I was awake when you were doing this, I probably would. Except that I have to adult as well because I'd be awake. Yay, adulting. Whoa. So all the same, the next one up is trying out the Adventurers League for the first time, which actually really works well in the last video, considering that I was just mentioning it, and now get to find out just what the Adventurers League is actually like. Actually, I think there is an Adventurers League near my local card shop. Huh. I have to remember that.
All the sessions I've played of Dungeons & Dragons have been homebrew house games, where you have someone hosting your group who's
no.
really nice and very generous and makes space for
Badass
everyone.
Halo.
Hi, Eric. Even though I've been playing D&D
Eric.
for years, I've never gone to D&D's Adventure League, which, if you don't know, is Wizards of the Coast officially licensed series of games that they run. If you have friends who don't play D&D or are too busy, you can pop into one of these locations, sit down with a group of strangers, they'll teach you the rules and play through a session. Also, it's free, which is really nice.
Free, I
They
love
have
that price.
pre-generated characters and extra stuff, so all you really need is dice, but even then, most other players are running around with enough dice to outfit a small army. First off, I was
play
taken
Magic,
aback by
it's
just
already
how
accurate.
short the session was, which is a compliment coming from me, though it just depends what kind of game you like. The sessions were just under 3 hours, running from 6 p.m. to 9. In
Those
most
are
film
short?
groups I've been in, they won't even meet up for less than 4 hours, and average about 6. Let me tell you whippersnapper something.
Damn.
When I played 4th edition games, believe it or not, those ran from 12 to 12. Noon to midnight. And it
Oh, I
was
thought
a
you said
federal
noon to
case on the
noon.
days that I had to leave at 10, making my getaway sprinting to the door. Sometimes, if I wasn't pushy or we got caught up in something, they would play even later till 4 in the morning.
Oh, God.
4 in the morning. What is wrong with you people? In case you're wondering how you get 16-hour sessions,
probably be that
it's
person.
by having combat encounters last 2 to 5 hours. That's how. Don't even get me started on the boss fights. The second thing which struck me about Adventure League was how streamlined and clean everything was.
Oh?
We were playing Tomb of Annihilation, and there were a few sessions in, trekking through the forest. I'm asking them, man, it looks like you guys are gonna have a field day trying to work my character into their story. And the GM goes, no, you're just there now. You just showed up, and now you're with the group. Huh, that was easy. So the GM doesn't have to, like, work my backstory in or anything? He's just like, there you are, you're with the group, now get going. If you want to figure out why you're there, that's on you. Like, you can just do that? And it really sped up the pace of the game. They didn't feel the need to have to
Oh,
invent
wow.
something like a reality rift that
He's
keeps
so used to
pulling
being
characters
super
in and out of the
complicated.
story. You mean I don't have to wait around for 2 hours until they find my character in a jail and break him out? Plus, if I had to listen to 5 other players' backstories, we'd be there all day. Especially when you consider that this is a week-to-week group. And if they had to reintroduce everyone every week, nothing would get done. It also gives this nice drop-in, drop-out mechanic where players can easily switch characters between session. Or if they have work or something, they can not show up for a few weeks
Adulting,
and then jump
yeah.
right back in. As for the other
Yeah,
players,
that
this
actually
group
sounds
was very
accurate.
quiet and more focused on the game elements of the game than the role-playing, which made it slightly less awkward, but would probably kill the fun for a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
A few players role-played, but not everyone, and not as much as a home game. Also, while in home games everyone is friends and that carries over into the characters' actions, we were mostly guys who came together to get a job done, and that carried over as well. Everyone was really absorbed in
So
what was
easier to
happening,
get
so we didn't
into,
keep having to give them
but
a summary
less
of
of
the fight
the
so far after every
friendly
turn.
aspect.
There also
which
wasn't
would
as
be a
many rules
downside.
complications. I'll give people some leniency. After all, D&D is really complicated, so it's
Yeah.
understandable. But there was none of those situations where they have the book open up to the spell they want to cast and they hand it to the GM and ask them to read it because they're too lazy to look down and read 5 words. It's 5 words on the text that's right in front of their noses. I use the spell Bless a lot when I play, which gives players a bonus to their attack rolls and saves in most games. Normally, I constantly have to remind people about it. Remember to add your bonus. Did you add your bonus? Remember to add your bonus. Have fun at school today, you little scamps. Don't forget to take your bonuses. Or else I'm gonna have to drive down there and murder all of you. No, there was none of that.
Evil
They
Granny.
remembered, and I didn't keep having to mention it. Pro tip, something I learned from those guys which really speeds up the combat in big groups.
Yeah?
Roll your d20 and damage dice at the same time. Saves a lot of time. Everyone in the group does it.
No duplicate
Overall,
dice.
it was a very different experience for me. Fun, very fun, but different. Although I should mention that I mostly play RPGs to hang out with friends and secondly to play a game. I'll be playing with them again sometime, but I do get why when I talk to people about playing in Adventure League, they're like, ugh, Adventure League, why would you play in that? Well, I don't know. Maybe because they actually read the rules and finish their games in under 16 hours. I'm still not over this. Who has that kind of
16
time to
hours.
sink into a game? I am
No
a
one.
busy
It's called not
person.
sleeping.
I have stuff to do.
That's what caffeine's
Lots of-
for.
Stuff that I do that's cool and interesting. They
No,
don't
he doesn't.
know that I make videos on YouTube, so they might believe me.
Calling himself
Thanks
out.
for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
And that was Puffin Forest look at the Adventurers League for the first time. And I might need to stop down there if they have it when I'm not at work. Yeah, oh, crap, I think it's on a day I'm at work. Crap. Whatever. I will be looking into doing this. it looks like fun, and if it's free, it'll be free to jump into. So I like the price of free. Have I mentioned it's free? I'm probably going to look into it because it's free. Yes, free is an awesome price. I love the price free. 5 out of 5 would free again. Not 5 out of 6 though. We don't go there. That's just crazy talk. I will say that out of all the things he said about this, this is probably one of those videos that really convinced me to get into this game the most. And I just need to find some people local who I can just talk to quickly about it. I know there's a bunch of people on Discord who would be willing to do it, but honestly, anything over the phone just feels lacking. I like actually being in person with people, which also makes it harder to do because everyone I know is a minimum of an hour away. It makes meeting up fun. Like for a game of Magic the Gathering, when we do it, it's like, hey, it's been 3 months. Let's schedule one for 3 months from now at our earliest convenience. Oh, 4 months? Okay, 5 months? Oh, no, we can't. Oh, no, 6? Okay, we'll do it next year, like usual. You know, I'm joking about that, but then I realized halfway through that's actually what we've done for the last few years. Huh. That awkward moment where your joke turns out to be an accurate description and you don't realize it after you say it. Huh. All the same, though. You guys know the drill. Link below, original video. You've already hit it up. Great! Don't be a Frank. You know what you did, Frank. You know what you did. I'm not going to let you forget. Unless you did. In which case, crap. See you guys in the next one. Adios.
Thank you.